you also, once again, similar to mine situation, have had to tiptoe or balance your relationship between love and business in a lot of ways. Have you? How has that been for you? How has it been going from a situation where you guys obviously start off with this lust and form this love, but then create a good hustle out of it too?
A long story short, kind of is weird how it started, man. I met her at Dan's Ignite party last year, the Valentine's Day one. I believe you guys were there.
I was there. I saw that meeting take place quite literally.
We actually met there. We'd only spoken a couple of times before then, nothing intense at all. And we met and we ended up leaving the party together and so on and so on. And we hung out, went and saw a movie a few days later, and we just got along super well, man. And as you guys would have experienced firsthand, maybe not George, you seem like you're pretty happy with your chick, but there's a lot of pricks out here, and a lot of chicks out here aren't very nice. You know what I mean? And to hang out with a girl in LA that just seemed really cool and down to earth and chill, and I had a good time. And then we started dating. I knew she did OnlyFans from the beginning, and then we were like, let's just do one together. And the plan was just to do some dark humor and some funny shit with it, maybe a little bit of nudity and some pranks. So it wasn't going to be anything to do with XXX content or anything like that. And we started and got 50,000 subscribers straight away, paying $10 or whatever it was a month. And I was like,
whoa, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, we're doing porn now. because we made it. And I was like, I didn't want to do it. I've never done that shit. I've always been somewhat edgy with my content. I've always done some pissed on my friends or have been thrown up on it, all that shit, And we started it, and I looked at all these people that subscribed, and I'm looking through the messages for 30 minutes, and it's like, sex tape. When's this coming out? I'm just and I'm like, fuck the morals. I'm just going to make a bag here.
But you got to give the people what they want.
I was like, fuck it. It's my dick's this big. I've got nothing to lose in having a try. It's a win-win. Now, no one can use my little dick against me. No one can threaten to use my sex tapes or nudes. I've made a few $1 million pretty easily out of it, and it's just whatever.
You're a business, man.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something? Did you ever think if you and I love how he's touching my thigh. You took a step further. I will literally listen. You said a couple million in the bag. We'll go back and make a OnlyFans together.
Not a couple million, by the way. A few million.
That's.
I was going to correct him, but I didn't want to sound.
No, it's cool. I noticed you've calmed down ever since you've gotten rich. Anyways, my question is, do you ever think what if this works out between you guys? God willing, it does. And are you worried about what your kids might see?
I prepared for this question. Because I thought you were going to ask me this.
Me or Mike?
It happened. I was mainly you because Mike's used to this stuff and he doesn't really care. I don't think I'm going to have children. And that's just a personal thing. It's I love kids, not in a sick, weird way. Kids are cool, man. It's, you know what I mean? Kids are dope. Yeah, I wanted to clarify, not in some Epstein way or anything.
I don't think anyone assumed.
But it's good that he clarified.
But I wanted to clarify.
The extra layer of safety.
But
they don't have to. There was one guy that's kind of leaned into the screen.
You say you like kids.
What does he mean when he say he loves kids? It's fucking Aussie.
But yeah, I don't know. I know. They're cool and all that, and they're funny and that, but they also give me the shits. And I struggle looking after a dog, let alone a kid. It's maybe really far down the track when I'm 60 or 70 and I get terminal cancer or something, I'll try it. But
you ever
leave your kids without a father type shit?
Sort of.
You ever been to Fiji before?
I've been a couple of times to Fiji.
And you remember swimming in that clear blue water there, right? So beautiful. The way I look at having kids is kind of like going back to Fiji for a swim, but with a Toyota attached to your ankle. You know what I'm saying? How far could you actually swim in that water with a Toyota attached?
Well, it's you get on planes to travel and you just hear kids screaming and crying, and it's the worst thing in the world. And
then 10 years later, they have a drug addiction like me,
exactly.
and then now you got to deal, and then they're a fucking podcast host.
I mean, either way, it's
I'm glad your mom and dad went through it because I love you, man.
I love you. That's a good point. He's got a good point. Do you fear that not raising a child could detract the world from potentially have another Jackson O'Doherty?
Dude, your bloodline, it ends with you. Think about that. Well, it's
a bit like if I'm going to have kids, it'll be down the track when I'm kind of chilling out from this stuff. I don't really want to raise kids. I don't know how to say it, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's
maybe it's just now is not the time. Maybe now.
And if I'm gonna have, I know Maddie wants to have kids eventually.
She does.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You're gonna have kids.
Yeah. Well,
if you stay with her, you're gonna have kids.
Well, we'll talk about that. Maybe she can have the kid, and I'll just say hey sometimes. You know what I mean? In a nice way.
If you're in LA, that's probably how it'll end up going, anyways. To be honest.
But I mean,
unfortunately,
your question's good. It's do I want to have kids? Not really. And if we do, you know, I don't, you know, a lot of people say like, oh, what are your kids going to think of the porn or OnlyFans and this stuff?
Yes.
But it's like, in a materialistic, pretty petty way, it's like, my kids aren't going to get made fun of because, you know, they can invite the whole school over for a cool pool party at our fucking nice house and who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but you don't think
No, I don't think he's gonna get made fun of. I'm just talking about like just the fact of him being able to see his father and mother make love. I think that's like a little.
No, I think
traumatizing.
both of those. I'd assume both of those.
No.
What'd you say over there screaming?
Well, I was just gonna say that. How many of you guys have walked in on Pop, you know, on Pammy and Greggy going at? I'm sure
not once.
I used to hide in the closet.
Why were you in the same room as them?
I'm starting to
No,
understand.
he means
everything.
purposely, like he cucked his parents. is
Yeah,
what he's
he-
saying.
Oh, intentionally.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
as a
cool,
kid?
man.
Yeah.
A few times, yeah.
That's cool, man.
Dan, he just goes, what?